Hello, and welcome to Jay's Pond. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. Now, I went and I got a water sample from the pool and brought it to the pool store where they do free testing on the water. And they said everything is fine as far as the pool chemistry goes. I said, but what about the green it? And they said everybody has been coming in saying their pool is green and greener than they've ever seen. It's a nice warm day today. There's a couple of clouds, but you know, blue skies, you know, just passing clouds and that, not bad. It was sunny for a while. I manually vacuumed every square inch of the pool for, the third time. This is actually a new vacuum, manual vacuum. My old one actually broke. And I'm pleased to announce that China has gotten the better of us. The old one broke right here. There used to be 3 of these things, one in the middle that it would go through. And just the age of the plastic in that, it sheared off. Now they only give you 2, and this pin is plastic, used to be metal. Thanks, China. But the vacuum actually is pretty nice. I got it for like 18 bucks or so. Rubber gaskets, leaves, the bushes, and it sucks up and you hook the hose up and do your thing. And these are weights, so it keeps it weighted. My old ones were never weighted. And that was a pain in the ass because sometimes the handle would go and fall in. And now the whole thing is in the pool, and you got to try to fish it out by the hose, and this keeps it firmly on the bottom. So that is at least one good thing. Like I said, the weather today is nice, but it wasn't the entire last week. It has been raining and cold, like 59, 58 even, getting lower than that in the evenings. And if it's raining, I'm not going to stand out here in the rain and vacuum the fucking thing. There's no sense in doing that. So I lost almost a week here. It's been 2 weeks and 1 day since I've opened the pool, and it doesn't seem to look that much better. In fact, it was looking better in a previous video, but it's actually a lot better than it was. The problem is when you vacuum, it kicks up all the green shit that settles at the bottom. That's why it looks like a complete pond/swamp. Then the filter has to go and suck all this stuff up. You can see all the leaves right there that I pulled out with the vacuum. It's a huge pile of wet, disgusting leaves and green shit and who knows what else. Just not very conducive to swimming. I made a critical error in the video on adding DE to the filter. You need to check to see how much DE your filter requires. I put in 2 scoops. I was really supposed to put in 4. I had been putting 3 in, so I said, all right, well, we're going to go for the 4 now.
Fuck up. Fuck up. Fuck up.
And then that opened up a whole nother can of worms, because for the first week that I was filtering it, it only had 2 scoops of the DE. Now, the point of that is there are grids in the filter inside, and it's like a screen, just like this. The DE goes and clogs up the little holes in the screen and makes them a lot smaller, so it can catch finer particles. So now when I backwash, the sight glass is showing really nice and green. But that uncovered another problem, probably unrelated. The pump started leaking, even though I got it fixed. You can see the water there. Now that plug, if you can see on the side of it, I had that plug and the front one here replaced because they were getting kind of grody. Well, the new plug that was in there, it looked like it was leaking from there, but I don't think it is. That new plug wasn't screwing in nicely, and if I went to turn it to make it any tighter, it was like the threads were stripped out. I put one of the old plugs back in, and that solved that, but it's still leaking. I'm not sure from where. I also found that one of the bolts on the back, hopefully you can see two of them at the top there on the black part, and there's two at the bottom. I had gone on them with a wrench, and I found one of them a bit loose, so I tightened that up. That didn't seem to make any difference, so I don't know where in the hell it's leaking. There's a little moisture there, but it doesn't look like it's dripping down off the side anywhere, so I have no idea. This has always had water in it. Then again, it did rain, and it does take a while for that to go away, but I think it is slowly leaking from there. But that's actually been an ongoing problem. Haven't mowed yet because the lawn has been completely wet and terrible. And this is what you get. It's just awful. I couldn't mow. It was too wet. The corn has come up nicely. I don't know what these things are, but every day they grow like another foot taller. Gonna have to pull these out or weed whack them or something. I don't know, but not good. And here, I mean, you almost can't get through anymore. So the weed whacker is going to get a nice workout. But it's all the fucking weather. And a bit of my mistake as well. Not putting enough DE in for the week that we did have that was good. It's not looking good. And I've come to terms with the fact that there's probably no chance the pool is going to be ready for my birthday, which is going to be June 2nd. It's the 31st, but we're going to celebrate it on June 2nd. But we'll have a barbecue and sandwiches and stuff. An Alchemy Pop. But there's like, it's a swamp, it really is. And the duck comes back every day. He's still, like, they haven't updated the maps or anything on the millennial duck phone. I don't know. I guess he has quack service anyway. Har, har, har. I haven't put Robotic in yet because it's just been so bad. And especially with the amount of leaves I pulled with the manual vacuum, he would have clogged up right away. And the thing I'm really worried about is the little filter screen where he plugs in the wall there. That gets clogged up real easy. So it's like he'll run for an hour and he's clogged up. Then I got to take it out, and it's a pain to spray it out with the hose. It doesn't all want to come out, and it's just not working this year. I put in algaecide. I'll show you. This is the stuff I put in. I got 25% more for an additional extra cost. Algaecide 60 as opposed to algaecide 50. I put in a bottle and a half. This is the half a bottle left. It worked a little bit, but even so, the biggest problem, like I said, is when you go to vacuum it, it kicks all the stuff up. Then you have to wait for hours and hours and hours for everything to filter. I've been going through DE like crazy. This is the old box I had left over. I had to get another 50 pounds of it, and I'm probably going to go through an entire box of it, because it's like every 4 hours I got to come out and backwash. Because the pool is green, because the planet, ladies and gentlemen, the planet. I don't know what happened to global warming. I think it happened either too soon or too late. But considering the fact that at the pool store they told me that everybody was complaining of the same problem, the planet is indeed doomed. Such is my life. So anyway, it's just going to be more vacuuming, more filtering, more vacuuming, more filtering, more vacuuming, more filtering, and hope and pray. And no, I can't drain the pool and refill it because it's a vinyl liner. Now, I had done that years ago when I first moved in, and the pool was absolutely disgustingly black. Hadn't run in like 2 years. It was awful. and I had to make an executive decision, because the problem was if you drain it, it'll damage the liner, and indeed it did. I ended up with wrinkles, and it didn't fit quite right after that. But I had drained the entire thing, and actually was in the empty pool with a pressure washer and a scrub brush, and I scrubbed down the entire pool and got it down to the center where the main drain is. The pumps weren't even hooked up at that point, so I had a shop vac sucking that stuff up. All the leaves in that, I went with the hose and just shoved them to the center, and I pulled out 6 10-gallon buckets of leaves and other shit that was in the pool, and the liner had suffered. When I went to refill it, the liner had popped out of the track, and it was drooping down like that. I couldn't stretch it back into place and pop it back in, and it was a real problem, and I didn't know what the hell to do until I did some research, and somebody had suggested heating it with a heat gun. I said, no way, that's going to burn a hole right through it. So I boiled some water and poured that on it, and that was just enough with a putty knife to just barely lock it in, and I would stick pennies in there to hold it. So I had like a line of pennies going there on that side. But the liner was replaced like 3-4 years ago now, and I'm certainly not going to jeopardize this one because it's still in very good shape. So no, I can't drain it and refill it. Can I drain it partially? Well, yeah, it kind of was. If you remember, it was like, you know, halfway up the light. So that was a little more than half the pool, or a little less than half the pool that I refilled. So it's just been a very trying process this year, and the planet simply hasn't been cooperating. Anyway, I think I said the same thing about 26 times, so we're going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Of course, I'll give another update video should anything eventually change. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.